Hi class, today we are going to be discussing the components of an effective paragraph. And I want to start off by asking you guys, what are some parts of a paragraph that come to mind when you think of the different types of sentences that can fit into one? And feel free to just call out your answer.
Intro.
Right, an intro sentence.
Quotes.
Quotes, yeah, paragraphs can have quotes.
Concluding sentences.
Yeah, there are concluding sentences too. So, perfect. Actually, for me, those are basically the majority of the different types of sentences that I break down my paragraphs into. And this is the 4 types of sentences that I differentiate within an analytical paragraph. And let's read these all together and talk about them. So, can I have a volunteer to read what a thesis is? Muzi?
The topic sentence of your paragraph should be arguable and convey what points you will address in the sentence that follows.
Perfect. So this is where you bring your reader into your paragraph and you tell them, this is what I'm going to be arguing about. This is what I'm going to be talking about. And for evidence?
I can do it.
Okay, thank you, Sonia.
Carefully selected parts from the source you're writing about that supports your thesis. Direct quotes, plot points, facts, references to historical documents, etc.
Wonderful. Right, so these are the parts that you've drawn from your source that are meaningful to what you're trying to say and they support your thesis. And for analysis? Francesca?
Why does your evidence matter? What is it saying about or contributing to your overall argument?
Wonderful. So analysis is really where you make sense of your evidence and why is it relevant to your paragraph? Why are you even including it? What points are you trying to make about it? So it could be explaining a symbol and what it means to what you're trying to argue, or picking out why the author specifically chose to use certain words or phrases. And once you have done that, you go to your concluding sentence. Natalie, could you read that for us? Thank you.
Restate your thesis and further emphasize why your analysis is important to the point.
Perfect. This is where you drive it home, guys. This is where you bring it all together and remind them what you're trying to talk about in your first place. Usually in paragraphs, you'll see kind of a jump between evidence and analysis repeating over and over again. People like to choose usually 2 or 3 quotes to analyze in each paragraph. For instance, this is an example of a paragraph. Here we see the green thesis in the opening, introducing everyone to what you're trying to talk about. And then we see a repetition of a yellow sentence, then a red sentence, another yellow one, then a red one. And that keeps going until you have analyzed all the different quotes or parts that support your argument. And then you wrap it up finally with a closing sentence. So actually, I have a little cheer for us to remember when we're trying to write a paragraph. What are the different parts that we need in order to make this paragraph successful? And to remember this, just think of brewing yourself a nice cup of tea to keep you company while you write. And the chant goes, for every paragraph that needs to be, just follow the order of brewing some tea. Thesis, evidence, and analysis mixed in, a closing sentence for a guaranteed grin. Do you think we could try that together? Cool, so mute yourselves and we're gonna read it together. Perfect, ready? For every paragraph
That needs to be, just follow the order of brewing some tea.
Thesis,
Evidence, analysis mixed in, a closing sentence for a guaranteed grin.
Wonderful, that was amazing. And next time you're writing, just remember to make yourself a nice cup of tea and have some sips as you figure out what needs to go into your paragraph to make it work. So here, we're gonna try to break down a paragraph together. I've separated the sentences and we're going to use the annotate tool at the top of our Zoom page, and we are gonna annotate this together. So can we do it according to the colors of green for thesis, red for analysis, yellow for evidence, and